So, you want to get into this hell of a game called Dead by Daylight, probably because you've heard it from friends, or if you're somehow in Dead by Daylight survivor. Well, I'm going to help you out and try to learn everything you can about this game, starting from the basics. We're going to start with the simplest of the simple, universally for both survivors and killers. Let's get into it. Each character that you have has a certain level. As you can see, my ace is level 50, prestige 2. This means that I have leveled him over 250 times. Now, that's not really meaning anything. Doesn't mean anything. It doesn't give me any benefits. It's just that. So, what is the Blood Web? This is the Blood Web. These items are all items. They're all offerings, add-ons, items. There would be perks in here, but I have every survivor perk on ace that I have. So they're not going to pop up in the Blood Web anymore because I have all of them. But just so you know, perks will pop up in the Blood Web. Now, how do you get these items and all that? There's a currency in the game called blood points. You earn blood points by playing games, and the better you do on each objective that you have as a survivor or killer, you'll gain more blood points at the end of the match. Or you can have certain offerings or perks even to increase the amount of blood points that you can get. I'm going to start with the basics of the Blood Web by going into a brand new character's Blood Web. Here we have my Jake. I have not leveled him up because I haven't really focused on getting his perks at the moment. So, as you can see, very tiny Blood Web. So we'll go ahead and grab some of the perks and items. As you can see, it progresses to level 2. And then it talks about unpredictability. Every single Blood Web is random. It'll have 1 to 2 random perks, some items, some add-ons, some offerings. It's completely random. You can never predict what's going to be in here. So we're going to level up the Blood Web a little bit, just so I can show you something. Now, as you may have seen, I unlocked Perk Slot 2 at level 5. Each character has 4 perk slots, but as soon as you play them for the first time, you'll need to level them up to level 15 in order to use all 4 perks. And since I have teachable perks unlocked for most of the survivors, you may have noticed that this perk is actually a Dwight Fairfield perk. That's because I progressed Dwight enough to actually unlock it on all survivors. These perks, on the other hand, are not survivor perks. They are neutral perks. These perks will appear on any survivor no matter what. These perks include Lightweight, Small Game. Now on PlayStation it's Borrowed Time, but unfortunately this is not the case on PC. Borrowed Time is exclusively to Bill. But there are many other neutral perks in the game, and they will be universal to all survivors no matter what. Now, how good they are is a little iffy. Most of the good perks are teachable perks. Alright, level 10 is an iconic level in the Blood Web whenever you first level up a character for the first time. Yes, you get your new perk slot 3, but the entity wakes up. What this means is that you won't be able to get every single item in your Blood Web. As you can see, there are 2 survivor perks at the bottom. With how the entity works, I can only pick one. Then the entity immediately blocks off the other one and starts consuming items and add-ons in its way. For example, I will go ahead and take Balanced Landing. Now Bond is immediately going to go black and I cannot obtain the perk. As you can see, it is blocked by the entity. Now if I go ahead and continue the Blood Web, it'll actually progress onto either the Crystal Bead add-on or the Power Bulb add-on. I am no longer able to obtain the Crystal Bead add-on, as you can tell. So, I could also learn how to manipulate the entity into how much I want to spend my blood points in. I could go for the Ivory Chalk Pouch, which is 5,000, and then go for the Chalk Pouch, which is only 3,000. But What the entity is going to do, he's going to take the ivory chalk pouch, which, because I cannot simply get to the power bulb, it'll also consume the power bulb because there's absolutely no way I can take it. Or not, because I can't predict for some reason. But there are certain points in the game where you will be met with a certain path that completely gets blocked off by the entity simply because it is unable to be obtained at that point. Let me see if I can get an example on Ace. As you can see, as soon as it took this heavy-duty battery, all three of these were completely blocked off, because it is actually impossible to get these three because this one was taken by the entity. So, I'm no longer able to get any of these items. However, I can get any item that is not currently blocked by the entity. But the entity usually has an interesting targeting system. It likes to target the things on the outside, so that it can make its way into the middle. You can manipulate the entity by targeting some of the cheaper items on the outside, whereas instead of this rainbow map that costs 7,000 blood points, which I don't even want in the first place. The next segment that's universal among killers and survivors is going to be the store. This is what the store will look like. It'll have the most recent cosmetics, the most recent chapter featuring the new killer and or survivor, your Excel packs that you can buy, the most recent killer right here, the most recent survivor, and a various amount of brand new skins added to killers and survivors. Now, your Excel packs are unfortunately unable to be earned in game. You're going to need to buy these little bad boys. They range from $5 to $100, and of course they go up the more you buy. These are used for buying killers or buying cosmetics. Oh, well, killers and survivors. Although these are required to buy the licensed killers and survivors, whereas they are not for the ones that behavior makes themselves. And we're going to go into that right now. These are the different characters and killers and survivors that you can look at. As you can see, I don't have a lot of the survivors because I don't see a point in buying some of them. Whereas you may see, I have a lot more killers. That's because the killers are each unique and different. Now you may notice that some of them don't have cosmetics at all. These are usually licensed characters, so they are unable to get some cosmetics, which is honestly very disappointing. I have two licensed characters, Michael Myers and the Cannibal. We'll move on to the Shrine of Secrets. Every 7 days, on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, there will be 4 perks. 2 survivor perks, 2 killer perks. Now, whether they're good or not is really just kind of what happens in the shrine. Currently, Bond is an extremely powerful perk, whereas Overcharge is possibly not so good, but it's better than Knockout. Also, Bond is better than Botany Knowledge. Now, the shrine is also random and changes every single week. If you so happen to have the perk already, like I do with Bond, Botany Knowledge, and Knockout, you may notice that it says already owned, buy again, and receive 150,000 blood points. Whereas if I go to Overcharge, I can simply just buy it for 2,000 iridescent shards. As soon as I buy Overcharge, I am able to learn it on any killer that I play without having to play the Doctor until level 40. Which, honestly, sounds inviting. But because the Doctor on PlayStation is already a default killer, I don't want to do this. But on PC, the Doctor is a DLC killer, and Overcharge is not a bad perk. So it might actually be promising to pick this up. But since I don't feel like doing it, I'm actually going to go ahead and pick up a perk that I already have for some extra blood points, so that I can progress some of my blood web. As you can see, I immediately chose from 2,000 iridescent shards down to 150,000 blood points. Now, how do you earn iridescent shards? You level up your player level. How to level up your player level is you simply just play the game. Depending on how well you do, you get more experience. Earning experience is easy. Just simply play the game as either a killer or survivor. None of them really get more experience than the other unless you're better as a killer or a survivor. Personally, I'm a killer main, so I get most of my XP from being a killer. Now that I have individually shown you what the blood web does and what character levels do and the Shrine of Secrets, how about we show you how a game should look like? Let's start with how a survivor game goes. Well, since it's taking forever to find a match, how about I explain my current loadout? I have a couple of huge meta perks, as I explained to you earlier, but I also have a couple different perks because I don't feel like running all of the meta perks in the game because that usually gets unfun. So let's go over them. Self-care. Basically, I can heal myself whenever I want without a medkit at 50% the normal healing speed. Dead Hard. This is one of the most powerful perks in the game, and as I showed you, it is a meta perk. Basically, what happens is that you dash forward, and during the dash, you do not take damage. In order to be able to do this, you need to be injured and sprinting. And when you do this, it causes the exhausted status effect, which means you cannot use Dead Hard until your exhaustion is gone. Also meaning, you cannot recover the exhausted status effect while you are running. Meaning that you have to walk, or crouch, or stand still in order to recover your exhaustion. We're Gonna Live Forever doesn't really give me an advantage in the game, it simply just gives me more blood points. Whenever I safely unhook a survivor, or I take a protection hit for them, I gain 25 stackable blood points for a maximum of 100%, and they're awarded post-trial. This isn't a game-changing perk, it's simply just a perk to gain more blood points. And finally, we have Adrenaline, which is definitely the most powerful survivor perk in the game. When the exit gates are powered, meaning when all 5 generators are done, instantly heal 1 health state, meaning from dying to injured, injured to healthy. You also sprint at 150% your normal running speed for 5 seconds. Also, if you are exhausted, the perk will actually still activate. If you are asleep by Freddy, the perk will still activate and wake you up. Adrenaline is definitely the most powerful survivor perk because it really has a lot of gameplay potential. So, let's hop into a survivor game with these lovely Let's hop into a game with these two. Not this guy. This guy's gay. Let's hop into a game with them and see what we can do. This is actually a very good map. Alright. So, here we are in the game, and we're right next to a generator. Simply, this is the objective you have to do. You have to sit on generator and repair it. All you have to do to repair it is hold L1 or M1 because you're on PC. Now, what was that just popped up? That was a skill check. And why is it red? That's because this is Hex Ruin. What basically Hex Ruin does is if you do not hit the great skill checks like I did 3 times in a row, it will actually regress the generator by 5% each time you hit the good skill check. I would intentionally fail the skill check to show you how, but that would hurt my precious ego, but I'll do it. As you can see, the generator is shocked, it is not progressing, and it lost progress. And the one way to counter Ruin is to find the totem that is lit up with Hex Ruin, or simply get good at hitting great skill checks, which, admittedly, takes a good minute. One generator is done, and the survivor over there is already hooked, which is obviously not a good thing. This right here is a totem. Oh, it's a huntress. This right here is a totem. Sometimes cleansing dull totems, which is what this is, it's not on fire, so it's a dull totem. Cleaning these is a great idea. There's a popular killer perk, which I forgot to mention, is called Hex No One Escapes Death. Whenever all the generators are powered, the killer moves a little bit faster, and on top of that, they can one-shot survivors. So it is a very deadly and dangerous perk. So, to counter it, any dull totem that you see, break it immediately. Now we'll go ahead and work on a generator because I don't feel like being with the Huntress at the moment. So, you also may notice how I can instantly just pretty much see the Dwight through the walls. That's because I can see his aura when he's on the hook. There's also a certain perk that can help me benefit when you're on the hook, but we'll go over that later. For now, let's go ahead and save this Dwight. Now, a typical thing that you should learn to do is that you heal immediately as you get hooked off, unless you hear the killer coming. Currently, the Huntress is not coming, so it is safe to heal Dwight. As you can see, as soon as I hit the great skill check without a Ruin, it actually progressed. If you can see that you don't have Ruin on a generator, it actually progresses it. But Ruin only applies to the generators. It does not apply to healing. It does not apply to anything else that is not a generator. So, I'm going to go find this totem to hopefully show you what a hex totem looks like. Unless I find the killer, which they're right there. Okay, well that was honestly a dumb move. Uh-oh. Alright, well, there's no pallet. Ah, I thought I could evade that, honestly. Well, so whenever you hear that little explosion and see that notification sound as a survivor, that means the hex totem was broken. It's a whole player-wide pain. Now, what I'm doing right now is trying to escape the killer's grasp. Obviously, I didn't do it. But you can, on occasion, actually do it. So hopefully my teammates can actually save me. Ooh, that was close. So hopefully, as soon as he unhooks me, he'll start healing me. Especially since the Huntress is all the way over there, and she's actually on a different survivor. Hello, Huntress. So what I'm doing right now is I'm looping the killer, in the hopes that, you know, I could stall a little bit. Now, what I did was actually really dumb, so don't do that. What I basically did was I dropped the pallet, but I did it bad. Oh god. I'm sorry, I'm so bad. Jesus Christ, this is why I'm a killer main. Also might help you to know hook progressions. So, I got hooked twice, and I have to do this. I have to tap X, or in your case it'll be a spacebar, to struggle. And as soon as I stop doing this, I instantly die. Or, I can also die if my timer goes all the way down. But, Kate didn't let it happen. Oh, we'll make it. Look at that heal speed. Ooh, that's delicious. This is a very popular survivor perk if you want to just... if you feel like just being nice and altruistic. So, that's not fun. She's slugging him. Now, let's just double heal. Oh, she still has the, we'll make it a bit fit. Ooh. Oh! Oh! Yeah, she's gonna come after me. Nice. Alright, I'm gonna go try to get this down survivor. Hopefully he's fully recovered. Oh, nope. Oh, alright, well, I'm probably dead. Yeah, she decided to pick me up. Oh, flashlight safe? No. Damn. Alright, well, unfortunately, I wasn't able to escape this game. But I don't escape a lot. I'm not a survivor main, I'm a killer main. So, my survivor game is not the best. But, that's kind of the fundamentals of Dead by Daylight. In some way. I've basically taught you the basics of being a survivor. So, let's hop into a killer game. See, I have the delicious Michael Myers. But I'm not going to play him because there's no point in playing a killer that you won't have at the beginning. So we'll go on to a different killer that is probably easy to learn, yet he's extremely powerful. The Hillbilly. Extremely powerful killer. I don't have him leveled up very much because I personally don't like playing Hillbilly. But even I can do good as Hillbilly when I don't play him. I'm going to progress his blood web a little bit in the hopes to get some perks, so I'll be back. Alright, I've progressed the blood web as much as I could with 100,000 blood points. So let's see what we got. Okay, we got some perks. I don't know where my perks are. Oh, that's offerings. I apparently have no offerings on Hillbilly. Interesting. So we got some decent perks on Hillbilly. Could be better, though. Okay, well, I'm going to probably change this loadout just a little bit to see if I can make it salvageable, but we'll see what I can do. Alright, now I have my killer perk loadout. Let's start with the perks. We have Enduring, which means the duration of pallet stuns are reduced by 50%. What a pallet stun is, even though I couldn't do it the game I played Survivor, is what a pallet stun does is there were pallets around the map. As you saw me drop one on the Huntress, very retardedly. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, if you can drop that pallet onto a killer's face, it stuns them temporarily. Enduring reduces the stun penalty of 50%, which is a pretty nice perk. Then we have Hex Ruin, which you already saw what Hex Ruin does, so I don't need to explain this. Then we have Deerstalker. So basically, anytime I down a survivor, I can see their auras within a 28-meter range, because killers are normally not able to see dying survivors' auras. So this perk completely changes that. Then we have Hex Devour Hope. Just like Hex Ruin, there will be a totem that is lit and on fire. There will be 2 in this case because I have 2 Hex perks. They can be cleansed at any time. Unfortunately, sometimes it's usually at the 3 seconds into the match. But let's go over Devour Hope. Devour Hope has a token system. Basically, in order to get tokens, you have to make sure that you're 24 meters away from a hooked survivor, and when they are unhooked while you're 24 or more meters away, you gain a token. At 2 tokens, you gain a 3% haste status effect, or you move 3% faster, after hooking a survivor for 10 seconds. The haste effect also lasts 10 seconds. For 3 tokens, all survivors are easily able to be put into the dying state with a single basic hit. That's what the exposed status effect does. It means that every survivor is able to be hit by 1 hit. Doesn't matter the chainsaw, doesn't matter I use my normal hit, they're instantly in the dying state. 5 tokens grants me the ability to kill any survivor with my own hand. So hopefully we can get up to 5 tokens so I could show you the killer's Mori. A Mori is basically the killer's killing animation. Each killer has a unique one, and the Hillbilly says, it's alright. Let's go into the add-ons, because these actually matter. The Carburetor Tuning Guide is helping me along with the Thompson's Mix to make me have a sort of instant chainsaw, so that I can rev up my chainsaw really quickly and down a survivor almost instantly. And the survivor pudding is simply just getting more blood points. Alright, with the explanations out of the way, let's get into the game. The cool thing about being in a lobby as a killer is that you can see each of the survivors and see what you might have to look for. However, they don't know what killer I am until the match starts and they actually find me. This will be good to actually go against this Kate because she has a flashlight, one of the most powerful tools for a survivor. It's easy to you can blind the killer with flashlights, although there are ways as a killer to avoid this. So if you become a killer like myself, you'll learn these tactics pretty easily. But for now, let's simply hop into the game. Rotten Fields, this is a great map for Hillbilly. Alright, so you may have noticed I never explained the chainsaw. That's because I wanted to wait until in-game to show you. So this is what the chainsaw does. You basically rev it up, and as soon as the meter fills, you start sprinting forward. You can barely turn yourself, and if you instantly hit a wall, you're stunned. But you can immediately stop it at any time. Any survivor that somehow meets contact with your chainsaw will be instantly put into the dying state. Or, simply put, on the floor. Revving your chainsaw is a good idea, but it's not always the best decision. Tracking survivors as a killer is sometimes easy. You may notice that there's these little scratch marks. Every time a survivor runs, they leave scratch marks. Let's see if we can get this Kate. That was Enduring, and I hit her right through the pallet. Without Enduring, that pallet stun would have been way longer. So Enduring is a very nice killer perk. Shit, I fucked that up. Oh, she screwed it up. Oh, she used Dead Hard. I simply did that to catch up. Oops, I missed. There we go. This is the dying state, so we simply pick up the survivor and proceed to hook them. Typical thing you want to do as a hillbilly is immediately move on. She was bald for a second there. Immediately move on, do something else. You may notice I'm going to this little skull thing. Again, like I explained earlier, this is a totem. This is a lit one, so it's either my Hex Ruin or my Hex Devour Hope. Which is it? I have no idea. Doesn't really tell you. You can also kick generators to start regressing them so that they start losing their progress. Oh, she screwed that up. Alright, so now that you saw what the chainsaw does, let's go ahead and hook a survivor. Let's go right through the killer shack. Yikes, it's the same Kate. Alrighty. She really did try to 360 me there. Alright, that was Decisive Strike. So how that perk works is, since I downed her within 60 seconds of her getting off the hook, she was able to pass the skill check, and if she passed the skill check, it stuns me. Enduring used to reduce that stun, but due to the recent change, it's only pallet stuns now. Oh. Alright, so I just got Bloodlust. Basically what Bloodlust does is that it increases your speed until you hit a survivor, or you lose the chase. So, let's go ahead and pick up this Kate. I might have tunneled a little bit, and I usually don't like doing that, but it was just random chance. Oh, and this Nea is right here. Where'd she go? She went this way. I'm gonna have to M1 her here. Ah, I missed. Since I have Enduring, I can be pretty aggressive with pallets. Okay, well, sadly they got my Devour Hope, since they cleansed the totem. I think I lost her. Okay, well that generator's done, so we'll go ahead and go over there. Sadly, I cannot show you the Mori. Where are they? We'll go ahead and kick this generator. So you may notice this little... Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. As I was saying before I ran into a wall, you may have noticed those little things popping up on my screen. Those are notifications, and they basically tell me where a survivor's location is. So they're pretty helpful to keep a look after. You'll usually get a notification if a survivor fails a skill check. Oh, this poor Kate. I'm just gonna hit her and leave her alone. I kinda wanna drag the game on. I don't feel like killing her already. She did waste a pallet, though. Oh, and they just cleansed my Hex Ruin. Oh, there's a different Kate. Alright. And you're the one with the flashlight. You didn't go through the window? Why not? Haha! Juked her. So you might wonder why I did that. Well, with killers, every time you look somewhere, you reveal this little red light called the red stain. The red stain is literally telling the survivors the direction you are looking. So by doing that, I basically mind gamed her, and she thought I was looking that way. And I didn't even mean to find a survivor over here, but I guess I just did. Hello, Nea. Okay. This pallet is a really valuable pallet, so I'm not sure why she just straight up used it like that. So, interesting. Very interesting. Alright, she ran over here somewhere. Yep. She gonna drop the pallet over here? No? Oh, she's going around? Where is she going? Where is this Naya going? Yeah, she's going this way. She's gonna try to loop this pallet. Or, okay. I'm fine with that. Well, I gotta plug in my mic. Gotta be temporarily... There we go. Fine with that. If she wants to waste all the pallets. Is there a survivor around here? Maybe they're hiding in this locker. Nope. You could hide in lockers, but if the killer opens them and you're inside it, they immediately put you on your shoulder. Or put you on their shoulder. Is what I meant. Ooh, generators are getting done. Oh my god, there's a lot of scratch marks. Where is this person going? To the generator. Ah, the mind game didn't work. Oh god, I am poopy. That was a little embarrassing. Let's see if we can get her this time. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm so bad. Okay, it's actually not a good idea to chase the same survivor if they're giving you trouble, so just go ahead and, if they're giving you trouble, move on, because that's exactly why. Don't do what I just did, move on. What? I didn't even see them! I legitimately did not see them. Oh, well, that's not fun. Alright, well now I gotta defend the exit gates. So basically what the survivors have to do is open the exit gates and they can escape. So hopefully I can manage to do this, but I don't think so because all four of them are still alive. So this is going to be an L for sure. Ah, I hit the Naya. Didn't want to. That was borrowed time too. Okay, well I got her, so it's okay. I got what I wanted in the end. But the reason Naya didn't go down was because she had borrowed time. Alright, well there's one dead. Okay. This Naya is giving me trouble. Jesus Christ, I'm really bad. Yeah, didn't think I would be able to do that, but I tried. No? Okay. Go to the other gate. Oh, wait. Well, and there's the hatch. Well, okay. Alright, well the other gate's open. Got her. Oh, someone just left. We might be able to pull off 2 kills. Maybe. So, let me demonstrate what the hatch is. So, when the last survivor is alive, or all the generators are done, the hatch will randomly spawn. What the hatch does is, if the last survivor is remaining, which here's one of them, here's a survivor, if they're remaining, they will have a chance to escape. Oh, you're not going to escape. Alright, we got 3 kills. So, it wasn't as bad as I thought. It could have gone way better. But, again, Wasn't as bad as I thought. So, with killers, with the hatch, if you can manage to make it just to where the last survivor's alive, you can find the hatch and close it. Now, it doesn't really matter because all the generators were already done. But as soon as you close the hatch, all of the rest of the generators are finished and the exit gates will power. Just so that the survivors have an extra way to escape. But since the generators were already full powered, it didn't matter. It basically just gave the last survivor no chance of escaping, but they were already on hook, so I pretty much just got some extra blood points. And that's the Hillbilly. Very easy to learn, yet super powerful. If you don't run into a bunch of shit like I do. Like, okay, I did that on purpose. But if you get the idea. If you can limit how much things you run into, you'll do decent. Now, I didn't do that decent because I only got Brutal, so that means I didn't pip. Oh, got a daily done. Cool. So I didn't pip. The way to rank up is you get pips. You get these little medals, and the better medals, you get these little pips. This one is just +1, so if you get 5, it's a lot like a Hearthstone ranking, but think of these as stars that you have to reach. And of course, the ranking system is from 20 to 1. Well, I killed a rank 3. Yeah, my matchmaking is a little fucked with the red ranks because I'm a high-ranked killer. But that's the Hillbilly, and that's killers. So, any more questions that you have for me, just let me know, but that's basically Dead by Daylight. And, again, any more questions you have for me, Austin, I will be happy to answer them.